What's up, everyone? My name is Aaron, and this is my first foray into YouTube videos. This is raw, uncut. I won't be editing it, won't be redoing it. I'm just going to take this video and post it. This was inspired by the Intp forums. I went on there recently after taking a few Myers-Briggs books and just pretty much jumping into the subject matter. So I just wanted to make this video to analyze myself, and then also I thought it'd be kind of cool to make a video for my kids to look at in the future and kind of get to know their dad when he was younger and maybe laugh at him, and see how he was. If you're wondering about my background, I'm sitting in my car right now. This is basically the only time when I have any free time to myself to do whatever I want. I got 2 young kids at home, married, work full time, so my drive in and into work and home is pretty much my only free time. So I'm here at the gym, so pardon my attire, wearing the tank top here at the gym in the parking lot, making this YouTube video for you guys, since it's my only spare time. So let me go in, I guess, a little bit of background. I'm making this video actually to kind of study myself too, as much as get some feedback from anybody else out there. So feedback's always welcome. Even positive and negative. I'm very analytical. I always analyze myself, so this should be a very interesting tool to analyze myself. I pretty much know what to expect already, so I don't think I'll see anything enlightening in this video. But anyways, let me just jump right into some other stuff and try not to bore you guys too much. A little bit of background. Let's see. I have my biological father and my mother. They're split. They've been split since I was 8. My biological father basically was a cult leader, so I'm sure that helped shape me. We lived with him and traveled the world till I was about 8. I won't pimp it too much because actually one of the other ladies in the cult is actually writing a book right now. So, like I said, I won't pimp that too much. But I think, besides the Myers-Briggs type indicator, there are a lot of other things that go into forming your personality, obviously, your experiences and so forth. But definitely I've taken several Myers-Briggs type indicator tests, and they all show me as INTP. And if I examine each of those letters in relation to myself, it's pretty easy to see. At least most of them definitely are applicable. The introvert versus extrovert. The introvert's pretty obvious because I don't really talk to anybody. I wait for people to approach me, usually to conversate. If they do approach me, though, usually I'm okay with discussing with them. So I definitely don't seek out people to talk. Even my neighbors, it's just a little thing as that is pretty much anywhere I've ever lived, I've never talked to my neighbors. It's just, I don't know. It's something I'd like to work on, a skill that I'd like to expand, but for whatever reason, just, I guess I don't have enough initiative or enough desire to actually, make changes needed. So yeah, that's a little bit about me. Let's see, where do I want to go with this? I didn't make up a list, so this is all just kind of me rambling on. So my ideas here, I had a few ideas before I was driving to the gym, so I had a few ideas while I was driving to the gym that I wanted to touch on, but now in the heat of the moment, can't really grasp them, all that I wanted to get across. I was a little bit anxious to make this, but I figured I wanted to do it now before I changed my mind or moved on, because in that way, a lot of things, when I am exposed to them for the first time, I jump headlong into them. I want to know everything about them, want to either, use them to improve myself, because that's one of my main goals, is always looking at ways to improve. So I saw the Myers-Briggs type indicator as a way to analyze myself from another perspective. I mean, I've pretty much been doing that all along, but the Myers-Briggs type indicator put down a lot of that information. I thought maybe, everybody thinks they're unique, so I thought maybe I was different, but obviously there's other people out there that are similar. Obviously, everybody is unique, but we're a lot more alike than even we think. So, let's see, my hopes and dreams, let's see, if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd actually quit my job and I'd go back to school full time. I just love learning. I love exploring new things. I don't really enjoy, homework and all of the requirements and that. In school, I always did enough to get by. I guess that's kind of what I do in life in general. I do enough. I pretty much do enough to get by. I do enough to get the A. I do enough to, do well in my job. Right now I have a government job, so the stigma that's associated with government jobs, I don't want to propitiate that at all. But yeah, I try to be as efficient as possible in my work, which allows me free time, or I utilize my free time to daydream or whatever else, when I probably could be using it to, go even further in my job and, move up the ladder even faster or what have you. But a lot of it, I don't know. I mean, my wife jokingly calls it lazy, and I've heard lazy a few times, so it kind of, you hear stuff enough and it kind of sticks with you. So, I guess in a way it's not, I don't really see it as lazy. It's more of I'm always thinking rather than acting, and obviously there's a time and a place to think and a time and place to act. So I try to, when it's necessary, I do the acting, but generally speaking, I do a lot of thinking. Jokingly here, let's see, I'll throw out just an analogy. Like probably about a couple months ago, we went in to buy a couple bicycles, me and my wife, just for cruising around. So we were just going to buy some little cheap Walmart bicycles. So we go in there, and she picks out her bike in the first 5 minutes. Well, here I am, like an hour and a half later, I'm still analyzing the different bikes, and then I decided that, okay, I need to get this seat, which is an accessory because I don't appreciate, or the seat that's on the bike that I like doesn't work. So she always gives me a hard time. I guess that goes out with the indecisiveness, but I'm always looking, weighing pros and cons, pluses and minuses before I make any of my decisions. Let's see, what else? I don't really want to kind of spin in circles as I'm trying to dig for ideas here, so I may cut it short. Some of my just core characteristics, like I kind of touched on already, are always wanting to improve myself and to, elevate my knowledge. I do value knowledge in others. There's all kinds of superficial stuff out there, and I think over time, I think that's like a thing that comes with age. Like early on, superficial, I don't know, for everybody, I think for the most part, comes into play. And then the sense of belonging. I mean, there are those innate senses that I think come into play. But as I get older, it's less about, really fitting in or whatever, and it's more about, I do what I want, for myself, not really because society wants me to do it, or, that's whatever. So it's pretty much, do what you want to do, and one of my things is always trying to improve myself. Let me touch on some of the other Myers-Briggs stuff. How my friends rate me, they'd probably say that I am cheap. That's not really a Myers-Briggs thing, but they characterize me as cheap because I'm always frugal with my money. I don't want to waste my own money. I don't want to waste anybody else's money. I don't want to waste anything, period. I'm actually, I probably overuse the term waste. Everything I always think of, okay, that's a waste, that's a waste, that's a waste of money, that's a waste of time, that's a waste. So I'm always judging all my actions based on, is this a waste? Is this a good utilization of the resources? Even though obviously I have, excess time or excess money or whatever, it's still, micromanaging all of that stuff, and asking myself, is it a waste or not? So that's a little bit about me. Like I said, I'm pretty sure that I'm an INTP. I've taken all the tests. I might be an INTJ. I mean, I judge, but I don't know if it's really judging or analyzing. It's kind of similar. I guess maybe I'll let somebody else make a comment as far as that goes. See, I'm staring at the bushes here. I was consciously trying to make eye contact with the camera, but it's kind of weird just looking at some static device, so I'm kind of watching the scenery out here, so my eyes are kind of probably darting all over the place in the background here. Let's see. What do I look for in others? Now I'm going through some of the traits that I saw in other people's videos. So I saw that, they were answering these questions. I didn't bother to look up or find all the questions. I just remember a couple of the questions off the top of my head. What do I look for in other people? My friends, actually all my friends pretty much that I've had throughout my life, I've got few friends, but most of them are long-term friends. I don't really enjoy small talk. I don't really, seek out new people or really try to get to know new people. I mean, I would like to get to know new people. It's just doesn't happen, you know, so that's just the way it is. But yeah, I have a few small group of friends that I've known for a long time. None of them are like me. I really don't go deep with any of them because I know, you know, that's not in their personality, that's not their type, that's not whatever. Usually I get along better with females than males, maybe because I feel like I can go deeper with them, generally speaking, whereas if you're with dudes, you just want to stay on the surface.